All right. Um, all right. So Ice Slime, I would love coordinates for Wintertown. I'd like to start doing more base tours going forward. I think my streams should be more focused on like stuff that's going on in the community and just focus on that, see where it takes me. Keep it simple, just walk around bases and builds, even if they've been destroyed like this one, and just kind of, you know, chat with people, see how things are going, see where it takes us. Anyway, so this base has already kind of been griefed, but I felt like I'd just fly around here and kind of take some panoramic shots and um, all right, I'll take a look at that later on. So this base, I don't actually know who owned it. I was just invited here to like witness the destruction of it all, so to speak. If you know who owns it, you're welcome to tell me because I'm oblivious to these sorts of things. Um, and to be honest with you, I've never I don't pay as much attention to the bases coming and going as I used to. Um, but at one point, this was fairly large as far as bases go. And I know it spans out beyond just what you see here by quite a bit. Um, yeah. Um, I'll probably I probably won't leak the chords at the end of the video because it doesn't matter really. Um, it's not like any of this is secret anyway. So yeah, I'm sure that you can find it if you want to find it. Uh, this base wasn't too far from spawn anyway, so it's not complicated to find. From what I can tell, they were looking at building a castle of some sort or a great wall with a castle all along this riverbank before the base got destroyed. And uh, I think the build would have been pretty awesome, but unfortunately it got found out beforehand. But that's kind of the way things are with bases. Um, I know better than anybody. You never get as far as you want to get on a build before somebody else discovers it. But they had built quite a wall all along here, going along this way. Got a couple of signs over here I'm going to check out. Let's see. Uh, Volvo Tower, pot on Holt. Um, well, I had some ideas, but now base leaked. Yeah, well, that's pretty much the way of life, guys. If you're going to build something and it's more than you, um, well, even if it is just you, someone's going to find it eventually. And once the secret's out, it's pretty much going to get destroyed. Um, but they had really carved all of this out already. And I know this probably only takes a couple hours, but like I enjoy builds that try to follow the terrain, and they had just you know prepped to do all of that for the most part. Um, no, I'm not gonna spectate you, Peace Broker. As I've said before, the fact that server closure is in the title is YouTube's fault. If you refresh the page, it should be gone at this point. Um, I know that there's a underground um, build here as well for a little bit, and I might turn free cam on to kind of check it out. But um, yeah, like I said, I appreciate builds that kind of carve their way into existing structures and whatnot. All right, so I don't think there's anything in here other than yeah, just a generic spawner or whatever have you. I don't think that I think a lot of this is uh, pre-gen by the server. I don't think they carved any of this out, but yeah, it could have been a really nice base if they had managed to finish it. Well, it was already the start of a nice base, but yeah, I, I I like the whole aesthetic as far as it's concerned. Um, It looks like they had some sort of a farm over here, maybe even a valley of wheat. I don't know. There was a lot of wheat around when I was looking around. And then some sort of a building over here. I think this is where they had their dupe stash at one point, but it's been pretty well raided and cleared out. Uh, from what I could tell, they had it all the way down into here or whatever. But uh, yeah, and looks like they had taken part of a village here and like recrafted it to make the rest of their build or whatever. Maybe they just built it and modeled a village, but looks kind of cool. Anyway, I guess at this point I'll talk a little bit about 9B, 4B, all that stuff going forward. Some of the changes I want to make, some of the changes that players have asked for, what's coming down the pipeline, um, and I'll just fly around the base a little bit more while I do it. But um, yeah, so I'd like to have the server kind of start paying for itself. And I've thought about it for a long time as far as what I want to do in that regard and like how I want to have it happen. Um, and the conclusion I came to is that it's very difficult for me to get that. Well, like now is an exception, but for the most of the time, we have 20 or 30 people tops online on a good weekend. Um, Fix the lag and maps. Well, maps are going to get fixed when 1.13 hits, and 1.13 is a work in progress. I've still got some more bugs to fix before 1.13 hits. Um, Once 1.13 hits, shouldn't have any problem getting maps back up and running. And I don't think we'll have lost any real maps at that point. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. I know everybody wants to build more maps and more map arts, but well, some people ruin the fun for everybody, and that's just one of those things in life. So, um, but I am going to be instituting some sort of a subscription on the website, probably for about $5 a month going forward. Um, and it's not going to be for a queue. It's not going to be for anything crazy or anything super special. And I talked a little bit about it before in a Reddit post, but implementing it proved a little bit more challenging than I would have liked. Um, so it hasn't quite happened yet. That said, the purpose of the fee is probably going to be about $5 a month, give or take, and I think I'm going to have it be to where the $5 covers a join message of some sort for the player, an MOTD, and then some sort of a vault to go along with it. Um, and I think that'll kind of solve a lot of the issues that you know that people might have, and I don't think it'll create a fake sense, or well, it won't really create a way for players to be pay to win or whatever have you. Um, Jot asked what I thought of the new player influx. I gotta say I appreciate it. It's been nice. Donations this month have actually been the highest they've been in probably year or so, give or take. Um, and Bradley asked what a vault is. Well, a vault would allow you to walk into an area on the server and take a snapshot of whatever is in that area and store it externally. Um, Specifically, you would be able to go ahead and take like these 8 chunks or whatever it is here. It's probably more than 8, but be able to take this entire thing and You get the login for a server that would allow you to log in and see all of this as it currently is without walking there. Um, and it would be at 0, 0, so you wouldn't be sharing your coordinates or whatever. It wouldn't copy bedrock. Um, yeah. The entire point of that would be to basically encourage people to donate. It doesn't affect the actual game, but it would allow you to share your builds faster and easier, um, in much the same way that 2B had a old school vault that was maintained by a player. Um, at this moment, C Pickles has not paid his $25. He has until the end of the month to do that. No, I will never give the server to C Pickles. Uh, C Pickles can't afford it. Um, so Bradley said that's not anarchy, though. Well, I mean, it is and isn't. Um, I mean, you could still blow up this section of their base on the live map. Um, there wouldn't be anything stopping you from playing normally. All it does is allow you to duplicate a section of already built ground, so to speak, or not built ground, and be able to share it um, for viewing, essentially. Technically speaking, anybody could just set up a bot that walks out um, to a set of coordinates and takes a snapshot of all of the chunks there and puts it out on a server somewhere. Like, there's nothing crazy about doing that. I haven't decided if I want to have a bot walk around and like go snapshot your base. Basically, you'd enter the coordinates and, at some point it would go snapshot your base, or if I'd just duplicate the chunks yet. Um, but yeah. Um, let's see here. But yeah, that would not impact the game in any meaningful way. It would allow me to stop adding new MOTDs and have a more limited pool of them. Um, and it would allow me to have a monthly fee that would help pay for the server bill, so to speak. I think $5 a month is a fairly reasonable fee. I'm not saying that like this is going to happen. I'm just saying this is something I've been thinking about for a while. Um, so this base was apparently built by Shredda5 and Stick Dragon. At least that's what I'm being told. And some help from Broken Griffin, Alex III, and Fiver Z. Griefed by Shredda5, 99Y, Broken Griffin, Riga, and Eye Slime at the end of the party. What am I supposed to be explaining, Tintinus? I'd love to explain something, but so as far as 4B goes, 4B needs a new home. That's where 4B is at. Um, 4B is kind of running out of disk space pretty quickly. Well, 9B is too, to be honest with you. 4B is approaching 1 TB, and 9B is quickly approaching 2 TB. Um, as far as what I am doing for April Fools, I have a plan for April Fools. I have not managed to code it yet. I am hoping to have time this next week to code what I need to code for April Fools. But that may or may not happen. I I'm pretty sure I remember the huge wall. I like the wall, at least for this build that I'm at now. I always like walls that just integrate into the landscape and the scenery. I don't want the problems that come with administrating 2B. I do want the money that comes with administrating 2B. So, Corrupted Greed, if you want to figure out how to get me the money associated with 2B without the problems or being a sellout, I would take you up on that bet. Um, I mean, so yeah. Um, as far as what's going on for April 1st, if I have the time, I will code up a couple of plugins. I would like to do something really awesome like I did that first year anniversary, well, that first April 1st or whatever. Um, like I didn't code the plugins for that, I kind of stole those, but it turned out really good, I think. And it never fails that players manage to find a way to break out of my little jail, so to speak. Um, I will never, ever, ever decide to sell a kit or a backdoor or anything for real money. It doesn't. I don't like pay to win scenarios, and that screams pay to win to me. So the best that's ever going to happen is um, statuses, MOTDs, possibly some sort of a way to view chunks that you're in after you're logged off or whatever have you. But I just couldn't ever foresee myself selling um, kits. I think that's a filthy business model to be in. And it's disingenuous to the players who work really hard for their stuff and then end up with somebody else just outspending them, so to speak. Um, as far as bold names in game, I don't think I'm going to end up doing that. I find that to be I find that to be a little bit pay to winish too because that's something that like everybody can see or whatever have you. Um, I'm not sure yet. Yes, the Imperial Japanese flag is off to the east of this build here. Um, I'd appreciate it if nobody griefed it because it's still intact for the most part. Um, but yeah, you can find it out this way on the ocean. Um, it's a pretty nice map art. I mean, it doesn't take that long to put one of these together. I mean, it takes a little bit of wool, but not too terrible as far as time goes. But yeah. Um, I'm not sure if that's a joke or not, but it's kind of funny. Why don't you charge people to money to base with you? Um, it's not. I doubt anybody would ever pay for that for one thing, but for another, um, it's just kind of funny. Uh, like even if somebody did pay, like I don't think it'd be worth my time to base with somebody just because they're paying. Like you'd have to pay a lot of money to even make that a reality. Like in an hour, I make 50 to $100 an hour most of the time. So like I do 9B out of love for the community, not out of like because it's benefiting my wallet. I just don't want to pay the server bill. That's realistically how it comes down and kind of how it works out in the end. Um, I'm not saying that I won't pay the server bill, but it's one of those things that like if I could get away from it, I would. All right. Probably my next stream, I'll probably end up doing a visit to the Hydra base drones. Um, yeah, I think that's about it for this stream. If anybody has anything they'd like to ask before I sign off, you're welcome to do so. Um, I if you have base coordinates for a base that you would like me to go ahead and do a flyover or passover of on stream, you're welcome to do so. If you have topics for me to talk about, because, well, talking by myself about nothing for, 30, 40 minutes at a time is fairly difficult, feel free to PM me those. No, I will not rate your dick pics. I'm sorry. Um, yeah, I think that's about it. Um, My plan for fixing map arts that had other map arts put over them is to do absolutely nothing about that. And the reason I say that is because, quite literally, they should fix themselves automatically. But if they don't fix themselves automatically, I have backups of the original map arts. And my personal preference is first come, first serve. So whoever put up the map art first is the one who gets to keep it. Uh, all right. Well, I think I'm going to cut the stream there. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe when I do actually put up the full video for this. I don't think I'm going to do a ton of editing on it, so it may just go live as is, where is. But yeah. Voice Guardian asked if slash me will ever be coming back to 9B. Maybe. Like, very slim margin, maybe. All right. Well, I'll see you guys. It's been fun. Have a good evening.